significant player in the marketplace. I think that this answers a question for me because I wasn't sure if VRM was more of a training company, like there are many companies out there that are offering training and certifications, as opposed to an asset management company. So let's dispel the myth that there is about, your role both as a company devoted to education and also to managing and assisting banks and other companies to addressing their losses and defaults and what have you, moving these non-performing assets.
Absolutely. So one of the key things that really attracted Mr. Murray to being a part of this business is, again, the stabilization opportunity to be a part of the solution, to make sure that first-time home buyers still have access to buying a home and being a homeowner. And the other important thing, the educational program was developed in conjunction with the services that we provide, because we want to make sure that the local brokers have access to those properties as part of the liquidation process and serving communities with doing the right thing, putting homeowners back into the homes, and making sure that the houses are show as good neighbors, because corporate sellers also want to be good neighbors. So we have the opportunity to do that. And the education piece is important, because it's one thing to assign a broker a property, but if you don't educate them on what the different dynamics is and working with the corporate seller, then they may not be able to keep that opportunity. So the education is designed to focus on what a broker needs to do to develop their office to support a corporate seller, so that once they get that business, they can grow it and retain it, and also at the same time serve as a part of the solution in stabilizing the communities that they serve.
So an agent that goes through your training programs, you're more likely to assign an asset to that agent than you would someone who is just applying to receive assets from you. And let me be clear on this too. Can an agent to get involved with your organization, can they get involved without going through your training, or do they need to be VRM certified if there's such a certification?
One of the things we will do, we'll bring a broker on before they've gone through the certification process, but before they become a volume player, they will have to be certified. We want and everybody, before they receive any of our customer listings, will go through valuation training. We have a 30-year appraiser that's doing BPO training so that our brokers completely understand value. We are a valuation company first, and we are also an REO disposition company. But we understand that in order for us to maximize recovery for our customers, we have to understand the value of that asset. So, and our business partners must also understand its value. So we take our network through intense training around understanding how to properly complete a BPO, how to pull comparables, and this is a very intense class. So that is a requirement before anybody receives any assets from us. They have to go through that training.
Wow. Now, one of the biggest complaints, the more frequent complaints I receive, and when the subject comes up about certification, is that there's so much education going out there, so many certifications. I can't even recall all the different acronyms, from CDPE to SFR to there's just a myriad of certification and designations to receive assets, to manage assets, to be in position to get assets. And what makes you guys different from, say, the 5-Star and the CAR and the NAR and other organizations' designation or certification?
Well, what sets us apart is we actually have assets to give to a broker. So we benefit from the training that we're doing. So it's not just about offering another training session. It's about offering training to help us better serve our customers, and at the same time, others who do what we do benefit from that training, because they too need the same things that we need out of our business partners. And the other thing is, the training is about the brokers. It is about what they do. So we actually have practitioners. Our instructors are practitioners. Either they are licensed real estate teaching how to be a corporate seller, or they're a licensed appraiser teaching how to do valuations properly. So we use actual practitioners, not just trainers. And that's important because we want the broker to know that the person that's teaching them how to set this up and have some success has already done it. These are successful brokers already. And I think that's important. It's like if you're going to take a class, if you're a doctor, you're not going to go to a class being taught by an attorney. So we feel the same thing is true for our real estate community. They need to hear from successful practitioners on how to do it right.
Well, this is such a very powerful point you're making because as real estate professionals, they all have limited resources. Not everybody can get every certification that's out there and are the newest and the latest thing. What's hot right now are green certifications. I'm not sure if VRM has such an education program, but it seems then that since you guys have assets and the other organizations do not, if you're just getting started in this business, and you want to position yourself to receive assets, say next year or the year after, then it seems like your certification would probably carry the most value, or a certification of any company that is offering education as well as also in control of assets of which they need agents to manage.
Right, because if you're actually managing assets, you know what the customers are looking for right now today. It's not based on what you did 10 years ago or 5 years ago. It's a current working knowledge of what the industry needs in order to do the right thing in communities. Because these corporate sellers, while REOs are impacting the market, foreclosed properties are impacting the market, there's going to be a time again when these same corporate sellers want to be able to reach out from an origination standpoint, and they want the communities to remember that they did good things when the crisis existed, that they were a part of the solution. And we want to help our customers do just that. And the business partners that we work with, particularly the broker community, play a large part in making that happen, turning this experience, as negative as it might be, into something more positive for the communities, and that we at least keep for home buyers in it as often as we can, try and put an owner-occupant back into the properties.
So describe for me some of the different training programs, and we can go into more detail than that in our last bullet, but just give kind of a high-level overview of some of the different trainings or education programs that you have to offer.
Well, first, the one that I think is the most important is where they all should start. It's how to be a corporate seller, and then second, or in conjunction with that, because these two are linked together, is how to complete a BPO in the default space.
Now, how long does it take to complete those classes?
It's a day-and-a-half class, so it's 8 hours on the first day and about 5 hours on the second day. So the first day you spend really going through how to set up your office, really identifying those things that make a very good broker in the corporate selling space. And for some people, they may walk away and decide, you know what, I don't want to work with a corporate seller. I'm really more, I want to do something different. And we want the course to be real about the experience and defining what it takes to do that and the type of infrastructure that you need to be willing to put in place to be successful in that space. And then the second day is spent actually going through and working through line by line on the completion of a BPO, all the way through selecting comps, the entire experience, what type of information you should share back to your corporate seller about what you find when you're out there completing that BPO. Because what's so important, it was really important for the seller to understand what's going on. The broker they represent the eyes and the ears for that seller, so they really need to know that that broker understands, or that agent representing that broker understands the market that they serve around what the community demands are. Something as simple as if it's a neighborhood that hardwood floors make more sense, then you wouldn't recommend to your seller to put in carpeting. They need to have that kind of understanding, because a house could fit simply because you put the wrong type of repairs into it.
Sure. That makes a whole lot of sense. Now, how many agents are you guys training on an average? And how is this training delivered? Is it in person or is it via the internet? How does it work?
Currently, our trainings are live. In January, we roll out our webinar, our web-based training, so you'll be able to go online and receive the training as well. And what we've done is we've worked with the trade organizations, and we've linked training to each of the major conferences that are going on. So we try to make it so that since it's live training, that they don't have to travel. Brokers don't have to go out and travel multiple times to receive the training, that we link it to something that they're already investing in.
Oh, that explains then why you guys were at 5-Star. Did you do training there, or was that just...
Exactly.
Okay.
We did, exactly. We did training at 5-Star, NARAB, ARIA, NARAB conference. All the major conferences we did participate in the training curriculum for that very reason. Or we'll offer a course near the area of another event going on that we know that's going to have a large real estate community, so that they can link to that and not have to re-travel. But we offer the course several times a month. At each class, we try to keep the class size to about 100 per class, because we want it to be interactive.
Mm-hmm.
We want people to benefit from questions that are asked. So we try and have max the class at 100 whenever possible.
So once an agent takes a number of classes, they will receive a VRM certification. Is there a VRM certification, like there's a 5-Star certification that you receive after I think a number of classes?
Right, they do. After they complete, there's multiple certifications you receive. The how to be a corporate seller and the evaluation certification. Once you complete that day and a half training, you receive REL's certification, so that for BRM, so that you can actively handle listings from our customers. And then you get follow-up at no cost. Once you start servicing one of our customers, our training doesn't stop with that one course. We will train on how to work with our customer, and then we will follow up training until we are comfortable that whatever process is in place that the broker is well trained on and can adequately support it. Or if our customer has some changes to their processes, we will then webinar and do additional training around that. So it doesn't just stop at the certification. The certification course is the starting point.
And Mr. Frazier, you are back in the conference?
Okay. Are we live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cheryl, are you there?
Okay. Cheryl?
Cheryl, you there?
Yes. I don't know what happened. It just went blank for a second.
Yes. I had a power failure. And, anything can happen when you're doing a live teleconference. And, this is show number 67, and this has never happened before. And normally in our pre-call or pre-conference, Cheryl, I would tell you what the procedure is in case something like this happened, and you have followed it without me telling you. So you're back on the line. And now it's finally happened. I can mark it off my checklist, power failure. So sorry about that, folks. I still hope you're with us. So, Cheryl, if you can finish your thought, where were we? In fact, you were telling me about about training and about the VRM certification, right?
Right, that is correct. So we do offer the REL certification that it starts with the REO certification, but it is a continuing education process. But one of the key things about receiving that certification is you can become a volume player for us in terms of the amount of listings you can receive. And then we will continue to train as you're given additional client business. We also offer short sale certification classes as well, because we understand that many of the transactions can be resolved pre-foreclosure, and we like to also make sure that our real estate community can be an important part of that process as well, which is another service that we also provide.
So how many people have gone through your training? Just off the top of your head, an estimate, how many people have actually completed VRM training? It's
several thousand.
Several thousand?
We started the training in December. Our first class was December of 2009, and so we've been one complete year and have had several thousand. In fact,